Wave like the queens that you are. Hello, everyone.
I'm an axolotl,
Huh?
not a queen. I said I'm not a queen. I'm an axolotl.
Hi, everyone. How is everyone doing? Oh, Lord, I forgot to mute. I forgot to mute my phone. I'm sorry. Excuse me for a moment. Okay. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to my stream. And I'm going to let these lovely ladies introduce themselves. Gwynna, who I've missed so much.
I've missed you guys too. My name is Gwynna at Gwynna the Winner. You can find some links for me down below. I do writing streams on Fridays, Saturdays, and occasionally Sundays. Coming up in NaNoWriMo, you will be getting a writing stream from me every weekend that month. So please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe. I will also be posting some writing advice videos here soon, and I look forward to getting to know everybody.
And I'm Nia, the Vixen of Fiction, here on YouTube. I host writing streams on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. So we just had one. We had some great conversation. If you want to go check it out, you can skip the sprints if you want to and just check out the chat. But yeah, we get lots of things done. I'm a writer. I'm a mom of 4. I'm a Loki mom. He's my writing partner. And I'll be hosting AuthorTubers React, and we're going to be reacting to all of the things that have been going on in the writerish and bookish side of things. So if you want to come and talk about all the stuff, it's a no sprinting stream. It's just a bunch of writers and book lovers getting together and talking about all the stuff. So join us Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern if you want to. And that is me.
Hi. Huh? I'm sorry.
I was just saying I have a KoFi. I'm linked, I'm sure.
Yes. I'm author JC Carpenter. Hello, everyone. I do things on my channel. I am a self-published author, oddly enough.
Woo!
Good conversation tonight. But
Let's get a sprint down before we take anybody out here.
I'm definitely planning to do that. I definitely that was my next move. Cool Gamer, you are so awesome. Yeah, I don't know what else I do. Blog, online magazine, online store, and a Ko-fi page, as these lovely ladies all have. Also, Gwynna has a Vela, which she does not promote nearly often enough, but it's okay because that's what I'm here for. And let me see. Hello, everyone. Hi, Zara.
Congrats, Zara. Nice.
Wow.
10,000 words is a lot, babe.
She's been kicking butt.
Yes, she has. Hello.
Hello, Jennifer. Eva. Hey, Kate. Regina.
Yes.
Me? Sassy? No. I don't know what you're talking about. I do think I saw someone new here tonight, so welcome, Montana.
Hey, Montana. How are you? Hi. Welcome.
Without further ado, I'm going to throw that up. And also, we're going to hop into a sprint to kick us off with 30 minutes of...
You already know the answer to this damn question, and you just putting something out there.
I mean, what? You saw the... You know what the topic is.
This is such a biased question.
I mean, you never know what people's answers may be. But, okay, on that note.
I only had one question last night. And we went down it. I asked the one question last night, and we went right down that rabbit.
The questions on our weeknight streams really just get progressively more and more chaotic. I feel like Des is tame. Nia starts to get a little wired. And then there's a turning point at JC. We're all delirious by the time we come across Tiffany. And then I'm just here to pick up the emotional pieces of that.
Yes, and you do such a wonderful job of doing that.
It's so good.
My emotional piece is me picking up by Friday.
I love saying we're here all week.
We already got some answers coming in, but we won't get to them until after the sprint because we are going to be productive tonight. Sorry, Eva. I know you hate that, but love you. 2, 1, sprint. I always have to make sure Tiffany's timer is actually going.
Yeah, and I think
he did the damn thing. Hi. And how did you guys do on our first sprint?
I got my potatoes and other vegetables cut up and cleaned up and put in the pot.
Ooh, what
Last
are we
step
making?
for dinner. Um, so I have a story for you.
Ooh, okay. Story time. Yay.
It is a story time. It is a story time. My husband, bless his soul,
Uh-oh. When it starts like that,
loves
I'm scared.
loves to go to Golden Corral to have the roast, right? And it's perfectly good roast. I agree. Good roast. Yes. Oh, congrats, Jenna.
Yes.
And great
Amazing.
job, Jen. Jen and Jenna rocking it out tonight.
Yes.
Um, anyways, their roast is not real roast. It's more like beef tips, the way that they make their roast. Yeah. And so he's been like trying for over a year to make a roast at home that tastes like Golden Corral roast. And
Uh,
finally, I got fed up and I made him beef tips, right?
mhm.
And so he finally admitted after a year of me telling him, you don't want roast, you want beef tips, that he wants beef tips, not roast. But get this
Uh-huh.
now, get this man now, okay? Now he doesn't want beef tips. All right. Now he wants like beef stew, right? It just like tastes like beef tips because he wants all the vegetables in the pot. And I love him, and I'm the same way because sometimes I'm like I want pie, but I don't want pie. I want ice cream, and I don't actually want ice cream. I want a milkshake, right? Like I get that, okay? But nights like tonight where it's just like, is it beef tips or is it stew? I don't know. I don't know what I'm making, but I know he's gonna love it, and that's marriage.
So you're
That
making
is,
stew with
that is,
beef tip.
Yes, I am making beef tips, but with vegetables.
Okay.
That's
but he
that's
will
a
call it
long.
stew. He's
He'll
probably
call
going
it
to call it
he'll
stew.
call it beef tips because that's the last
Oh,
verbiage I've
okay.
used with him. But it's more of a stew.
Yeah, I seem
And
like you have a really awesome marriage.
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
thank you guys. Thank you,
yes.
sweetheart.
And
Nice.
she, I mean, she's always gorgeous, but today is a little extra, extra special
I had to
gorgeousness.
look pretty for my girl JC. Haven't seen her in a bit. Had to impress.
Oh, loves me. So, the question to the group was, do you think, I mean, it was really a rhetorical question, but
Yeah.
I thought I'd start with the easy one. Pull a Gwynna. We're going to start easy. Something easy to answer. Do you think that someone who admittedly doesn't read indie books is fairly able to assess the standards of all indie books as a generalized statement, as one did in said video, pinned at the top of the comments? I think I already know y'all answers. I believe the chat was a resounding agreement. No, next question.
It was a Loki. It Loki was so sweet.
Okay.
Yes.
Not even a little bit. I like the emphasis of that answer.
Mhm.
No. Oh no, she just said LOL. LOL. No. LOL. No. I know Eva had to come in with the good long comment. Of course not. Though I think someone who doesn't read indie books can adopt the opinion that indie are bad based on the popular stigma that haunts the indie route of publishing due to feeling her comment got cut off. And then Jennifer said that's a very loaded question, but if you have to ask, there's a problem. Of course, Zara, Miss Self Publishing Queen herself, said no. Some I had to star her. She pointed out some parts of the video. Some of my best friends are indie published, but
Mhm.
you DNF all indie books. um, oh, Deidre came in and said hey, and this
Yeah.
said hey, and Mama Meg. Okay, so how do y'all feel about being lumped into the all self publishing books are, hold up, what did she say? Shit. I think she said all self-publishing books are some shit. I believe that that's exactly how she put it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. My first book was shit.
But to say all,
Most.
all self-published.
I actually, a lot of her points, and I know that you guys are going to not like me for this, but a lot of her points I agree with.
Oh no, I'm still gonna love you.
Yeah. Well, from what I have watched of the videos so far, and I've watched a good bit of it now, a lot of her points I definitely agree with, and I feel like the general reaction that I'm seeing in AuthorTube right now is one of, um, it's a mob mentality. It's a hate the messenger mentality. It is one of, yeah, a lot of indie books are shit. I'm just going to say it. A lot of indie books are shit. I agree with that. Unfortunately, we live in a society that values productivity over quality. That is just how it is. And a lot of indie authors have to produce high amounts of productivity in order to make a living. Quality is not the goal for a lot of author tubers, and quality is not the goal for a lot of indie pub. All right. That's just the name of the game, period. You also have to recognize that there's a different level of resources given to traditionally published people. A traditional published book has what, 24, 30 people read it before the public ever does. At most, I've seen an indie pub have 5 or 6 people read it. You know? And that's just unfortunately the truth of the argument, is that there are better resources allocated to traditional publishing than there are indie publishing. And you have to ask yourself, when you are indie publishing, am I going to be part of the problem? Am I going to be the person who uploads a book that I've only ever beta read? Right? Or am I going to be the person who uploads a high quality book? You just have to ask yourself. You also have to ask yourself, going into traditional publishing, if you're going to be part of the problem, giving all these big publishers more opportunities to take advantage of people, right? Are you
Right.
really going to hold your publishers accountable for not doing your marketing like they should be? Like they are taking portions of your profit to be able to do. You have to ask yourself, going into any industry, am I going to be a part of the problem? What are the problems in this industry, and how can I face them?
Yeah. And see, here's the thing. When we talked
Yeah.
about it yesterday, nobody said that we or anyone who wants to go indie publishing doesn't have the issue of we
Mm-hmm.
don't have as many resources.
Yeah.
Right.
Expectations. I don't. I think I go in when I read an indie book with different expectations because I understand that the resources are more limited,
Mm-hmm.
and there is, as Mama Maggie made the comment, gatekeeping. If you know that a certain percentage of people who are writers are
Mm-hmm.
in a marginalized group, but only a much smaller of that percentage is going to be traditionally published, even though it's getting better, it's still not fair or equal in
Oh,
any
no,
sense.
I completely
And
agree.
so, by saying, when you say all, then you're saying, you know, keep gatekeeping, trad pub. It's perfectly fine because
Mm-hmm.
marginalized people who aren't getting published, they don't deserve it because their books are
No, you have
crap.
a very good point.
And
Mm-hmm.
and when you do that, when I read an indie book, I go in with the understanding that there are probably, unless they're massively big, there are probably going to be less resources. But here's the thing: people absolutely love fanfic. That fanfic writers, they put out
You're
fanfic.
right.
They're
Yep.
doing tons and tons of work. It is garbage sometimes, and because it's not edited. Sometimes it is fantastic. Sometimes, but people go in, it's the fanfic, they love it, and they read it and they gobble it up. And those people are working absolutely for free. They're putting in time, effort, energy, and nobody's complaining about it when it's for free. But when someone wants to sell their work as an indie, all of a sudden it's a big fat problem. And usually the people that have the biggest problem with it are people who are trad. But I don't understand it. We get it. You're trad pub. You're bomb. great. An agent picked you up. They thought you were fabulous. You have the look that's going to do the TikTok thing now and all of this stuff. Your story, it doesn't have to worry about getting banned because you're not putting brown or black people or gay people or whatever it is that, it's like it's great and so happy for you, but why are you going to knock the indie writers that this is the route that they need to go? I just don't understand the knocking it. We understand
So
that
here's my
there's
thought. 'Cause-
editing and less resources. We know this.
So here's my thing. It wasn't that I necessarily disagree with all of her points. I disagreed with
Right.
multiple facets of each point that she made, but not all of her parts. But she made a lot of generalized statements, and
Yeah.
I don't think to
From
say
what I
all.
can see in the video,
Some
every
Trad Pub
generalized
videos are
statement that
not
she's
edited.
made so far, she has qualified that, right? That's
No,
just from what I've
to
seen in her
generalized
videos.
statement about all indie books are trash is not
She
something
changed
she
her opinion
qualified
later.
because she also said I don't read indie books. How can you make a statement saying all indie books are bad when you haven't read not even most books? She hasn't read a lot of books. She admits that she doesn't
Oh,
Yeah,
because she can't
but
waste her time.
I don't believe in going after anybody. That's why I'm not going after. You're not gonna. Yeah, JC. You're not gonna see me posting her link. Even when I do AuthorTubers React, I'm not gonna.
There are plenty of I don't know where I froze at
Because I don't want people going over to her channel and just spamming it with a bunch of you don't know what you're talking about. I don't want that. Let her.
Where did I leave off at? Because I froze and I don't remember where
you said that she was making a lot of generalized statements.
Yeah, because there's a lot of good indie books that I've read, some this year. So to say that all indie books are shitty, to also say that people who publish
They have no
self-published books,
pros.
Zara has a really good point
people
at
that publish
748.
self-published books don't put a lot of work into their books. That's just not true. I've seen
No.
people bust their asses publishing their own books. So
Yeah, but there's a difference between the people that we associate who bust their ass putting out books and people like my 17-year-old version of myself who did not bust their ass putting out her first book.
But so what? But
we're indies too, though.
Why are you lumping them all together?
But we're indies too.
Here's the thing.
Lump everyone in the same category is my point. The generalization of it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm also trying to say, you guys, is that a lot of her commentary in her video seems to very much be that you guys, and a lot of the commentary I'm seeing in the chat here and in other chats that I went back and reviewed, was that you guys have picked out lines from her video and are very much just going after it, right? This is very much a mob mentality.
I'm not going after her at all. I think I've met her backstage on Morgan streams. I think she's a lovely, sweet girl. I just think that she lacks some experience to speak on some of the things that she's speaking about.
Probably.
Yeah.
And she makes a lot of generalizations that she just shouldn't make, not having the vast
I see a lot of those same generalizations being applied towards the trad pub industry. And you are exactly correct, Nia, that there's a level of privilege that it takes to be traditionally published. It is very much a privilege. It is the responsibility of people with those privilege to check themselves, right? To say, am I holding the publishing industry to a higher standard? And unfortunately, the answer is no, because we're all desperate for money. The people at the top, these big publishing houses, have that money. They're only giving pennies to the authors themselves in trad pub or indie pub, okay? Either way, none of us are making the amount of money off our art that we should be making and would be making if there was more money to spend on these sorts of things, if the people at the top wasn't hogging the money, right? I think that there is a level of discourse that we're having right now that needs to be elevated to a higher level of responsibility systemically.
The higher up, they don't want to have this conversation. I think that we can see through what's going on with some of the with
This part.
they don't care. They don't care.
No, I absolutely agree, Mama Maggie. And that's the beautiful thing about having this level of competition in the
Yeah, they
market.
have
I'm
they
not a
absolutely
capitalist, but I agree. People with marginalized voices are forcing the traditional publishing industry to diversify because right
and
now you
then
can only
there's
find.
but there's so much pushback right now. There's like it's literally a campaign that's called "Go Woke, Go Broke," where groups of racists are like, if you publish or put marginalized people in your work, put marginalized people on your TV show, where we only want white elves and white mermaids, we're not going to watch. And it's called "Go Woke, Go Broke."
I'm
So
so sorry that
we're
they're facing
fighting.
that.
We're
It's
fighting.
disgusting.
It's like we're tired of fighting. Just let us do our
Right.
art. And if you don't
Mhm.
want to indie pub, don't indie pub.
Then why
I
are,
completely
and
agree.
that's my
I
exact
mean,
question
she
right now is like,
I
why
meant
are
that
we even.
all endings are bad are as a stereotype. I didn't necessarily want to be looped into with the first book. Unfortunately, the ones I have picked up, I did DNF. Her reply to her comment was, "So she's never read an entire indie book."
Yeah. And the reason why I think some of us feel like we have to talk about it is because a lot of us have been trying to want like so with my channel, I
Mhm,
had 1,800 subscribers before I joined AuthorTube. Those
mhm.
1,800 subscribers were people who came on to read my stories and my daughter's stories that were not edited. They were just stories that we enjoyed and people loved them and they came and they would read them and gave us lots of likes and we were able to make money off of it. It was great. They weren't edited. So when I decided I'm going to come out as an author tuber, I guess I took them down because I didn't want people to think, oh, here's another indie author who can't write. Look at she's switched tenses and or did whatever, she's telling, not showing, whatever, all of the things that, you know, we get black
Morgan, you did a
bad.
video. We
So I
want the
so I,
video.
I took them down. I took those stories down, but people liked them and we made money off of them. And it's like they're, you know what? It doesn't matter. People are going to see it and it's going to perpetuate this idea that indie
Ooh,
authors don't care, that all indie authors are just rushing out stories to make money and all
I
of the,
feel triggered.
indie authors. Yeah, I don't get it. Um, but I'm not indie published yet. I would like to be. I plan to
Mhm.
put more work
I
back
want to do
out.
both. I want to do
I
both.
wanna do both too. So
Yeah, and that's like
it's
it's
not
not
like
that I
people
don't
are
want
not it's
traditional publishing.
I think it's the idea that if you're indie, you're not trying or you're not doing your best, that only if you're going trad, that I don't know. It's
There
just
was
Gwynna,
a
it's weird.
comment by Zara
It's a
Hoffman at
weird space.
7:48 that I thought made a really good point. It's that
for me, it
it's this
wasn't so much.
idea from people in the trad pub industry that perfect, that one, that those who are in the indie industry have not faced that same level of rejection as those in the trad pub. And that's what I mean by like us drawing lines in the sand and gnawing at each other instead of gnawing at the people at the top, right? Indie authors have faced just as much, if not more, rejection than trad pub because every time an indie author brings up their book, they have to market their own book, right? Trad pub
Yeah.
does offer a base level of marketing, even to the authors that are only going to be mid list and below.
Yeah.
And
And what
unfortunately, no one's grabbing for the people at the top like we should be.
Yeah,
yeah. And like Regina said, I refuse to attack her.
and yeah,
Not at all.
I'm not attacking her either. Like I said, she's a
Yeah.
lovely, sweet person. And I
I just
don't. There are good
this
points that she made. It's not the message. It's the delivery of. It's how it was delivered. And
and
I'm
without
sorry. When it
acknowledging
comes,
true
she may
nuance.
not have meant for it to come off as her bashing the entire like self publishing in general, but that's how it comes off. I mean,
Especially
it
when
was
the language that you use to reference it is what makes it sound sound that
Mm-hmm.
way. I mean, I didn't put the word in her mouth. She did, and I don't curse. If anybody's wondering, I rarely curse. That's why I'm not repeating the word. But that's what she called it, not me. And so it's just.
Oh my goodness, Richard, you're hilarious. No,
Oh,
we are not discussing she who shall not be named on this stream.
Mm.
yes, Morgan's one.
I
What
do
is the
want to
expression?
recognize that I'm also speaking from a point of privilege right here, being a white woman who intends to hybrid publish, right? Like you guys have very different lived experiences and are drawn to indie publishing from different experiences than I am, right? I chose to serialize my novel Wolf Hunter because I had the opportunity to take a look at it and say, no, I think this is going to be better as a serialization than it ever would be as a novel. And because of that, I chose an online serialized format that could generate profit long term. You guys have entirely different lived experiences and are forced to indie pub for different reasons. And I definitely don't want to speak over your voices and your very valid opinions in that fact, right? Marginalized voices. There are so many reasons why indie publishing is the route marginalized voices have to take, that Black voices have to take, that Black women's voices have to take, because traditional publishing is that systemic thing. It's racist. It is blatantly.
A lot of times what's happening when they do take them, and then even when they do adaptations, they don't, those are the books that they don't give enough attention to. And
Mm-hmm.
when the few times that the few that we do get, and people are like, oh, it wasn't as edited as well, they're not a lot of times giving it as much attention, because systemically you need people at every level,
Mm-hmm.
in the system. So if you've got people that they're just trying to check a box for their company, it says we have our one Black book, we have our one Latinx book, we've got two LGBT books, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you doing for them? Nothing. We're putting our money behind, the white person in the white book that we know is going to sell. So even
Yeah.
they have a different level of struggle. And I'm like, if I trad pub and I do get picked up, do I want to then have, that's another struggle I'd have to go into, and which is what I'm going to have to deal with when I do try to trad pub. It's just so many layers, and it's way too nuanced for just to say
Okay.
that all indie books are crap.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yeah.
I
That's the word I'm
love Morgan's comment at 7:59. That's exactly the point I'm trying to make, Morgan, is that we shouldn't even be having this discussion. We're over this discussion, honestly. As a
She started
community,
the discussion and she asked for it to be discussed.
no,
So
I agree. I think that she was wrong to make those statements as well. Honestly, as a community, we have to raise our standards and say, this is no longer the subject we're going to discuss. It's not indie versus trad pub anymore. It's us versus the higher ups, right? We have to be able to say, we're willing to eat the rich. Okay.
Yeah.
mm,
But we're being walked backwards, and I when I saw, I felt like,
Exactly.
why are we back in this discussion? I felt
Exactly.
like we were way past that.
yes,
We're at the point where everybody's like, I'll be your critique partner. Here's how you find beta readers and critique partners. And
Exactly.
I'm an indie editor. You need an editor. Here's an editor. This person's an editor. We've seen edits that this person's done. They've done a great job. So I felt like it, at least in our corner, that we're past that. And the people that I watch, some of the people that I watch, they talk about how the struggles with independently trying to find a good editor. So I feel like
I
people
agree.
are trying to put those out. But one of the authors that she actually did call out, which is a huge YouTuber. So if you're going to call somebody out, call out somebody big, because we don't ever want to punch down or punch sideways, especially.
Exactly.
And the person that she did call out, they're not going to be hurt by this, because the people
right.
who love her book love her and love her
Yep.
books. And it doesn't matter if you think it's badly written. She's got a fan base that loves this story. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
some of it is subjective. You don't think it's a great story, but she's selling copies. Yeah, she's also marketing and doing all of these other things, and she can teach you how to market. She's got her
He's
market game
extremely successful.
down pat.
But Mia,
She's extremely
Mia, did you
successful.
catch this fact that she said she hasn't read Jenna Marzi's book? She said she
Yeah,
hasn't read it. She said she read
She's
the
going
reviews
off of
of
what
it.
the other clickbait people have put out there, and so you know,
Okay, so
I
we're
don't
gonna hop
know.
into another.
I also, I
Oh,
mean, I just want to call out Eva's comment here
what's
at
that?
8:02, right? Her thinking the video was taboo proves the community has not calmed this discussion. Pushing it under the rug as if it was resolved seems unhealthy. I think a large part of her point was hypocritical, right? A large part of her point was saying, okay, YouTube or AuthorTube does put out these clickbaity videos, right? But if you look at her videos, they have very clickbaity titles. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're all trying to strive for the same success. And that is what the algorithm pushes, right?
Mhm.
The algorithm pushes clickbait titles. You have to adhere to that if you want to be
You
able
want
to
your
get good
channel not to
views.
grow at all.
Exactly, right? And there's a level of acknowledgement that we can make as a community to say this video should not have been made and this reaction discussion should not have happened. To be honest, the whole thing is moot. We've been through this. The community's been through this.
But
I've
is
been
it mute? It mute if we're
Apparently, it's
still.
not mute if
I was
it's
about to say
still
if we're
out
still
there.
feeling the feelings
If
that we are about it. Apparently, it's not.
and that's the thing. We have to be able to acknowledge it and say, okay, friends, we're all feeling these things. Here's how we can redirect and have actionable change. Until we can have these conversations in such a way that actually makes change in the community, we've had the discussions before. You can look 5-6 years ago in AuthorTube and you're going to see these exact same arguments over and over and over again. It's
You
dumb, guys.
may have
Let's make
just shifted. You may
hmm?
have just shifted my reaction video just a tad bit, just a tad bit. I'm doing a reaction video, but you might have just shifted how I was going to do it just a little bit.
yeah,
No,
no,
it's not going to be anything bash. I'm not bashing anybody. I don't do that. I don't believe in doing that. I don't even believe in hitting the dislike button on a video, even if
yeah,
I don't like it. I just won't do anything. But
I don't cancel. I don't do any of that. Like I said,
but
when I do put my video for her sake and for my indie publishing friends' sakes, I'm not going to link it. Because one, I don't want people going over there saying I came from Nia's channel and here's what I think of your. I don't want people doing that, and I also don't want the people who are just readers who are still following me, waiting for me to put something out. I don't want them to get this negative idea about indie authors because when I do have my indie author friends come on and my trad pub author friends, all of my author friends, I'm like, promote your book. Tell me the stuff that you're doing. When I did scripting the book, which some of my the people who are on my channel who are readers, some of them do watch scripting the book because it's a little bit more relevant to what they like. I put their two indie books up behind me because I want them to see that. So I'm here to promote. And so I don't want people coming on my channel who are readers, not writers, seeing stuff that, oh, we're paying for indie books and they're not any good. I just don't want to promote that out there.
right.
But the discussion needs to be had because we do apparently still have the feelings. I don't even have anything indie published, but some of the things that were said about all indie writers pushing out books really really fast when I know indie writers right now who are getting ready to do those quick releases or back to back, and I'm just like, that just I don't like that, and especially if you know these people, like
Mm-hmm.
something about it just doesn't set right with me. You know, people that are
This
doing
comment
this,
from Morgan.
other your friends, and you know that some of the other
Morgan is one
YouTubers
of them.
friends are doing this. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? So that's my thing. I'm just trying to. I don't understand it. So I don't know. Maybe it was just clickbaity, or maybe it's the channel direction change. She wants to be more about tea and controversial. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
But
that was your
yeah,
theory yesterday.
I do want to make a point that Eva's reaction of you shouldn't be impacted is awful advice is very on point. And I am sorry if that's the way my words came off. What I meant to say was that if we are going to continue to have these discussions, they need to be accompanied by discussions about how we can continue to build a community that can take the change where it needs to go and can make the change happen, right? We need to be building that community between trad pub authors and indie pub authors,
That's what
right?
we're doing. That's what
Yeah.
I've been doing the last 2 years I've been here.
Oh,
That's
no,
what
I agree.
Yeah. So I feel like
On
we
the
can have these
whole,
conversations because we're doing these things, but we need to spread the good word that we're doing these things. And if you need a community where we're trying to edit, we're trying to beta read. I'm literally learning to be a beta reader, so I don't just read your stuff and say, "Hey, you wrote that. It's beautiful and lovely." If it's, I'm just proud of you. If you want me to beta read, I actually want to give you good critique. You know what I mean? So I'm learning how to do that so that I
Right.
can help my writer friends. I think that's what we're doing. So we can have these conversations and we can encourage our indie friends that, hey, yes, people are out there. They're still spreading the word that all indie authors write crap and all indie authors don't care. And we're all just about making money, but trad pub's not. I'm like, we all need to make money. We live in a capitalistic society.
right.
We all need to make money. I there's just things
I will say
I
to Laura's comment, not that I plan on fast releasing anything. However, if you see me fast release, it is because I have suddenly come into a whole bunch of money. I have hired an editor to edit the 6 manuscripts I have waiting in a drawer somewhere, and that is why. But
We
but
should
it's
shout out Zara. Sorry.
huh?
Sorry to interrupt. I totally interrupted and spoke over you.
It's
Zara's
fine.
company.
Yeah,
Immersible.
Regina left the link earlier. It's too far up. I'll get it on the sprint. Or if
Capitalism
Regina,
is
or
the disgusting oppressor of us all. And there are people like Zara out there willing to bridge that gap.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, I think the thing that really keeps this alive is the ever growing size of the writing community, right?
excuse
We
me
are,
one moment. Zara, you have a wrench now. If you want to drop the link for your publishing company, go ahead and
yeah.
do that.
I
Okay.
think what keeps this discussion alive is the fact that we are constantly having new authors join us, right? People are always going to write new books. The industry is going to have turnover between people who are published and have been published, either indie or trad, for a long, long time, or rather, I should say, and people who are new to the game and they're trying to figure out whether they want to indie pub or whether they want to trad pub. So they're catching up on these discussions, which is bringing them back to the limelight. What I'm saying is that, we as a community, and I know us here, where is my pointing fingers? Where? Okay.
Who knows? Who
I think
knows?
that us here are doing a great job of lifting up the community. I think that when we do these gut reactions of black and white and we seize that anger in that moment, we are getting rid of our own patience and the nuance that this discussion has generated over time. We're now at a point in the discussion where we can have this nuance, right? And I think we need to take advantage of that and say, yeah, we have these gut reactions, but we can add in our own solutions over
Yeah.
time.
I'm just going to interject real quick before Barrett says something because he looks like he's about ready to say
He's
something.
still a
Um,
Lori. Look at that.
but Esther wanted me to tell you, she said she hoped the stream's going well. She told me to say hi to everyone and that she misses us all. And she says candles are still her main source of power right now, so they don't have any power still. So I just wanted to let everyone know because she wanted me to let everyone know while I was on stream that she misses everybody.
You guys send money to Esther. Go to her KoFi. Send money
Oh,
to her.
I don't have the link up. Crap.
I'll
Darn
find
it.
it. I'll find it. I'll post it.
Messing with that girl's video. I should have had the link for Esther. So sorry. Oh, put it in the private chat if you get it so I can put a banner up.
You got it.
Or on the ticker thingy. Barrett, hi. How are you? How was your day?
Good long.
Barrett T. Spiller, Lori.
I know.
Yeah. And
Oh
I
my
think
gosh.
to Sarah's comment, I think that there are
Which
people
one?
who want to keep that stigma going.
This one?
Um, yeah, that benefits them to keep that stigma of author
Exactly.
is just crap, and indie writers are just writing crap. There's a benefit to keeping that stigma going. And it has again to do with the gatekeeping. So there is that, and yeah.
It is now in the chat.
I missed the beginning, so this may be a repeat.
Oh.
And if it is, then say
Oh,
so.
well, the first question was a rhetorical question, but it came from the video. That was the first. That was question number one. We haven't
Oh,
gotten to a second spring yet.
oh, well, okay. Well, I was just gonna say in general, I rewatched it, or I listened to it as I was closing down tonight at work, and so I listened to it again with like a fresh air, if you will. And my overall like 20,000 foot view of it is kind of what Eva and I were saying to each other yesterday, which was just it was probably the delivery isn't so
Yeah.
hot, and like
Mhm.
I think that the person themselves has always been really supportive overall and really great to work with on things. So it was just sort of shocking to see such a like really bad take. But then
Mhm.
also I kept thinking like, but AuthorTube is like really full of bad takes. Like I had a lot of them, like over time. And everybody does, I think, at some point. So, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody last night called for grace. I can't remember who it was. Some nice person, probably Nia. And we were all like, yes, yes, Queen. Oh, Jess Williams, I think too. Also,
And Jess Williams, yes.
so
Because both of us have bigger channels, so I'm literally limiting my conversation to indie and trad pub, not to direct anything at.
right,
And I've said it
right,
I've said it many times on this stream. I'm not directing anything to
yeah.
her.
Oh, and
On
I'd say,
my channel, I won't be linking her
yeah,
because I don't want people going there to
I'd say the same.
dogpile on
You
her at all.
know, you know, I just think re-listening to it, mostly it was, you know, a couple of bad hot takes, probably, you know, I don't know, meant to be a little clickbaity, but she definitely delivered. Like she delivered some spicy, you know, shawarma. But I overall, I don't think she was like trying to be malicious to anybody, or
Mhm.
but it does definitely come across as like kind of a dog on. Yeah, as like I don't read indie, but yeah, indie's the worst. Or my favorite, which is like all my friends write indie, but I don't really like it. And it's like, ooh.
Yeah, that.
But those are the ones that would hurt my feelings if I had indie pubbed. Like when I re-listened, as like what would you know what would hurt me in my feels, it would have probably been
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, and I don't want to invalidate anybody's feelings who,
No,
because
no,
like I said, I'm not indie pubbed, so I don't want to
yeah,
invalidate anybody's feelings who did feel like, ouch, you know, like
I
why?
I mean, you
Because I
also
get
have to recognize that
I'm like that's just my friends, and I'm like, why?
yeah, yeah.
you also have to
I thought they
recognize
were
that
your
she,
friends
like
too.
me, is a young white woman who, period,
Doesn't
who
have to
looks.
worry about any of the marginal.
Has a
We
certain
don't.
privilege.
Because
There are things we
next to
don't need to
white
worry
men,
about.
the next highest published, I believe, is white women. So even though it's way down, you're
White
still.
women publish more than white men. Did you know that?
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Oh,
I think the highest paid though. The
it's
guy
so
still
hard
got it
for
with the
us. It's the
highest
hardest
paid.
for us.
Yeah, I know. I live such a difficult life.
So yeah, I'm like, do I have
We're
one too
canceled.
many gay people in my story that also has a very diverse color palette? Oh, this is never gonna go. You know what I mean? These are things
Mhm.
we have to think about.
JC,
You know,
look at the chat.
because
Lauren Medals.
Yeah, Laura wants to come on,
Yeah.
JC, but
yeah,
to answer Mama Maggie's
Same.
question, absolutely not.
Same.
Absolutely not. You are allowed in this community to have your opinion, to have your place, to grow, and to
yeah,
learn as a person. She is absolutely welcome to still be in this community. I loved your little dance,
Yeah, she's not
JC.
canceled. I'm sorry. I wanted to answer that, but then I had froze. I'm like, no, she's not canceled. I will still watch her other videos.
And let me.
I don't agree with look at the cookie wars that we just had. We don't agree on everything.
Exactly.
And
Right.
she will grow and she will learn. She's gonna get out there in those trad pub streets and
I mean,
you know,
if her goal was
And
to
her
start,
opinion might change after she queries.
Yeah.
Sorry,
if her
JC.
goal was, but if her goal was to start a discussion, then she accomplished her goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think there's a spectrum, right? I think there's all the way from this, which is pretty mild. It's just
Sure, Laura, but I cannot send you the link because gremlins are trying to attack me, as you see. So,
I'll forward it to her. I'll forward it to her.
Yeah.
okay.
I love Zara's comment at 8:17. We got to put that on a banner.
Well, I'm indie pubbed and don't think I'll watch that video. And I no longer let myself get upset by the shit white people say about me being an indie author.
Yay.
Love it.
And I watched it. I only watched it once. I watched it because it was sent to me, and I do think it is a good topic for author to react. Some of the topics, some of the subtopics. No, it's fine. I like to get them, but I'm not going to keep clicking on it. One, I don't want my feed filled up with anti-indie publishing things, because you know how YouTube is. The algorithms love to.
I've clicked on it. I've clicked on it a couple of times. Sorry. This last time was for research purposes because
it's your feed, whatever you want.
Have the information to rebut.
Yep, whatever you want your feed to show. So
yeah,
I don't want it on mine.
Well, and I would have said to Mama Maggie, you know, for example, I think there's a whole spectrum. Hi, Laura Nettles. There's a whole spectrum, I think, of discussion that can happen from this, which is more or less maybe just an inartful way of starting a discussion, to the other end of the spectrum where maybe I'll give an example of a story, but like, let's say you're, you know, doing a show with someone and it turns out they're not the person you think they are and you call them out for it and then they don't ever want to do anything about it to like fix it and work through it. And then maybe, for example, they cancel themselves. That's kind of a different example. Yeah. And even because I didn't cancel them and wouldn't cancel them and they can't only cancel themselves. But that's a good example of like when you're so stubborn that you're just like, I refuse to grow through this process, like with the community that I say I care about. And therefore, that's the other end of the spectrum. So I think there's two ends. I think Haley's going to land on the side that works through it and will be just fine.
Barrett, I think you should change your name to Barrett Savage Lori.
Right? Hi, Laura.
Hi.
Oh Roy, is that Roy?
Yes, Roy.
Oh my gosh.
Did you have something you wanted to say before I hop to a sprint?
Okay, so today I got an email from the agent that got my full manuscript request, and they said no. And they had some feedback saying I needed to like delve into more of like the characters' emotions and relationships, and it should be 40K. And it's like, oof. And so it's like, I don't know if I have 40K to say about this story. What do I do with it?
Okay, so what words are you at? 22 or 27?
25.
25.
And it's a short story.
No, it's
if
a
you
middle
switch
grade
it to
horror.
first person
it's
POV.
I think it's
What POV is it in, Laura?
What? It's a third person close.
If you switch it to first person close, you'll have an easier time adding your gut reactions or the character's gut reactions to it. And you could probably get it up to a solid 35 to 37. If you want to. It's your book.
Yeah. It's like, oh dear. So do I try and rework and double the word count on this thing? Do I shelve it? Do I what do I do?
That's a double. You just gotta hit 15. Okay, so your chapters are averaging what, 2,500 or 2,000?
2,000.
Yeah. Okay, so okay, I gotta do some math. Hold on.
I wanted this to be traditionally published because for indie publishing for middle grade, it's seems
hard.
To be hard.
Yeah, it's awful.
Very hard.
It's awful. You don't want that.
Any of the people will tell you it's hard.
It's like I'm fine doing my indie publishing for my horror collection of adult short stories. Like that's fine. Like it's really hard to get picked up traditionally for a collection if you're not already mega famous.
Agree. So, Laura, what we're talking about is 7.5 chapters, which so far you have about 12, 13. Is that right? Somewhere in there, or is it more?
I think it's 20.
20. Okay, I'm doing the math wrong.
I
Okay,
get.
some chapters may be really short, which is fine. So, okay, 15,000 words is really what you need, because you need to get closer to 40. And if they say 40, ask Zara. Zara, would you be okay with doing, do you think if they say 40, they'd be okay with 38 or 37 if she got close? Because here's the thing. I think if we're just talking about a 10 or 12K bump, we're just talking about a, what do you guys think? It's a horror, so lots of opportunities to add an additional. Oh yeah, Nia.
What the feedback? They said it needed to be more. What was the other feedback? Because something might be missing. They might, with needing more words, they might be wanting more story somewhere. So where are those places? If from the feedback, what are they missing that they're feeling like they need that?
Right? Relationships or reactions.
So it says, while I love the concept and the horror element here, I feel like it isn't quite as strong as it needs to be. I would love to see this work fleshed out more, with us getting really under the character's skin and getting their emotions. I love to see more between him and his friend/sister to give us that real family or friend tie-in that tugs on our heart. The word count for this is very low because of the more surface level writing style, so I would think something closer to 40K would show it has added meat to it.
Okay. Yeah, so he wants that more character development, that character relationship development. Can you find areas where you can add chapters in or integrate a sibling in a little bit more into the story?
Or increase dialogue, just more discussion around things. I'm thinking of examples throughout the story. So, and I hope these aren't spoilers. But later in the story, there's a part where there's a body bag scene. I think it's still in the story. So there's a lot of discussions. Then we could beef up scenes like that. We could beef up scenes like where, oh, good night, Richard. Sorry.
Good night, Richard.
I'm trying to think what else. Some of the earlier stuff. Another good opportunity could be at the tea party thing, or not tea party, but when she invites them over the first time, maybe we can find ways to like stretch the scene out a little more, or add in like something in the middle to beef it up a little. Maybe an early, because I think that one has a reveal that happens in the scene, right, where he goes in and sees something or thinks he sees something, and then So maybe we can find something outside that's equally spooky that we can talk about, that he could internally think about in his head a little bit, go back and forth on. Things like that we could totally do, and just make chapters a wee bit longer, or add whole other, break up the existing chapter and fill it out on either end. I think. Wait, and Eva, did you read this one too? Wait, here we go. Eva said this.
Yeah, Eva read it.
Agree with that 100% on the body bag scene. That whole thing I thought could have been a whole side adventure that could have been really interesting. Let's see. Yeah, I agree with Eva. Don't shelve it, for goodness sakes. It is a Goosebumps story. Like, if any of you guys had read it, I was just talking to someone about Goosebumps today and mentioned the story. So, worms in her boots.
Oh, Tiffany says she has a headache tonight. That's why she's not here.
Okay.
Sorry.
And that would be awesome, Zara.
Yeah, I can't see. Sorry, I don't have my readers. They're somewhere in the other room.
Laura, honestly, writing inside someone's head is pretty difficult, right? It's one of the hardest parts. Oh, we lost JC.
We lost JC.
Writing inside someone's head is extremely difficult, right? So that's why third-person close and first-person POVs are the hardest to write. Developmentally, I think an extra 10K, just based off your writing style that I saw in the 10 pages that I edited, that seems like a lot to ask, right? If you end up doing that large number, you're going to end up needing to switch to first-person POV, right? That is, from what I read of your first 10 pages, the only way your style is going to accommodate such a large increase in the word count. As far as beefing it up 5K to 7K, honestly, just adding more character insight would probably be within the realm of keeping it third person. let the others take another look at it, but you might, if you truly want to go this route with this person and this agent,
Well, it wasn't an R and
unfortunately,
R, so
Mm.
that ship has sailed.
oh, well, in that case, find a different agent. Fuck them. I'm not sorry.
Yeah. So is JC frozen?
Yeah, I think she's trying to get the sprint going. See us, JC?
We have talked an hour about this to her. She's been trying to get us to sprint for the last 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Okay.
All right.
So, am I back? Am I back? I
You
don't
are
know.
back. You are
You
back.
are back.
Timer is up.
And my
Okay.
stew is incredible, by the way. This is the best stew I've ever made.
Nice. Are we
Nice.
So maybe
continuing
the,
the
maybe the tips. Maybe it's all about the tips.
Are we continuing the previous discussion or not?
Honestly, if it gives us a different take, I'd be down for continuing it. But if we're just going to keep beating up each other between indie and trap,
Well, this is
I
the
would rather
next question.
label it. How many indie author tubers do you know that share details of their publishing journey? Money that comes into each aspect. Share channels if you have. I like that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to try to press the button without the gremlins attacking me. And okay, everybody ready to sprint? Yay! Okay, three,
Born
two, one.
ready.
I like that.
Born ready.
Hello. And we're back. Hi. The chat has been very, very lively. I
It has been since we started this stream.
huh?
Said it has been since we started this stream.
I know, but that's right. I can't even keep up. I don't know what they're talking about now. How did you guys do? I did know words, by the way.
I ate dinner, which was fantastic and very filling and made me really happy. And then I came downstairs after setting aside my husband's bowl of dinner because it's good enough that my in-laws will eat it, which is nice. Not that I cook bad food, but like they don't trust American food a lot of the time, so it was nice that they're gonna eat my food. And then I got an email about some royalties from Amazon, and so I went on Amazon to check my royalties, and it turns out my author page had been deleted. So I had to go and remake my author page for Amazon. All the good stuff. We're in the midst of that.
What?
Yep.
Oh,
We're
wow.
here.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Wow.
It's fine. I got it. I made it happen. It's come back.
Hi, Jessica.
Hey, Jessica.
She has
Hi.
arrived.
Oh, yeah, she has arrived.
Margaret has arrived as well.
Hello,
Hi,
Margaret.
Morgan, I have no idea, babe. It just disappeared. Mia, I interrupted you.
Oh, I was just gonna say I took Loki out for a little bit. I'll probably take him out one more time. It's got dark so fast, so.
Oh, we are doing another sprint, so you'll have enough.
Right, yeah. And then I just finished the video, so those types of things, and hopefully I'll be able to get some words next sprint. And I tried to read a little bit of
watching a video or making a video.
Making a video.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Would it be a House of Dragon reaction video by chance? No.
Not yet. I want to do a tier ranking. But I want to wait. I want one more. I keep saying I want to watch one more episode. But they're coming, so I'll probably do one more. Are we on episode 6 is next?
Yeah, episode 6 is next. Okay. Oh my god, it's
so
gonna be
do one. Crazy. I know that's gonna be the first one where I think we switched.
They're aged up.
Yeah,
it's 10 years ahead.
So I wanted to get a feel for that, and I'll make another reaction video with. I probably won't watch the video, but do like a reaction and a tier ranking of what I think so far. Wow. And then I'll do one closer to the end. And then we can do a discussion if you want to do a discussion, JC. So I think that'll be fun.
Oh, I get to do one with you?
Yes. It's more fun than talking.
I was just going to watch yours. Sarah said, I blew up the chat and wrote 150.
I agree with Sarah. I'm going to miss Millie Alcock. I haven't watched episode 5 yet. Primarily because I don't want to believe that it's Millie Alcock's last episode. I'm still fooling myself.
Episode 5, oh my gosh. Episode 5, you got to watch, Gwynna. Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was a doozy.
Another wedding episode. You know, it's like the red wedding and the purple wedding. I know what I'm getting into.
I was scared.
Well, no, it's not as bad as the red wedding.
Not as bad.
It's not.
It's shocking.
It could be a little more shocking than the purple wedding.
Yeah, nothing's as bad as the red wedding. I'm
gonna make the Alcock too. I love her, and I'm just like, I'm ready to go find like what else is she on? I need to.
I really hope we get flashbacks so that they can bring them back at least once every season.
I would love that. I love her.
It's good to hope. I don't think that.
I know. You never know.
Oh, Gwynna, you weren't. Oh yeah, because backstage, I was Googling their death dates because I wanted to see who outlived who between Allison and Rhaenyra. And
Rhaenyra, do you want spoilers?
No, I have answers. We were backstage.
Yeah.
I was Googling.
I don't remember.
Rhaenyra is eaten alive by.
Whoa, Nia doesn't want to know that.
Oh,
she doesn't want to know that part. I just told her when
I knew it was
died. I didn't tell her how.
Yeah, I don't remember.
If you go back and watch Game of Thrones, the episode where Joffrey takes Marjorie down to the tombs, he tells how Rhaenyra dies.
I think you're
Yeah.
going to be safe for at least 3 to 4 seasons, Nia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Laura, how did you do that sprint, Laura?
I'm sorry, Lori.
I'm working on a job application for back in California. So,
Oh!
yeah.
What?
Oh, is that going well? Because I know you said you were working on submitting a resume for that one.
Yeah, so the resume was done. I finally got the shots last night that I worked on for Spider-Man.
Oh, like film shots.
Yeah. So I put them in my demo reel, and now that's uploaded. So now I'm doing everything.
So real quick,
when you're 20 something and you say shots and you immediately think about shots, it's like you're drinking with this employer already. I think you got the job.
I don't even know how to.
That's
The
my young
question
dumb.
was, do y'all have any indie author tours? Do you know that share details of their publishing journey? And the reason why I brought up this question does actually have to do with the video that's pinned to the comment, but Gwynna doesn't want to talk about it anymore.
No, we can talk about it as long as it is an elevated discussion. We can have our feelings.
Because
we can express our feelings, and then we can find solutions together.
She made a point of saying that indie authors aren't authentic about sharing the details of what they spend on their publishing journey, which I mean is true for a lot of indie authors, but there are a lot of indie authors that do share.
From what I heard in the video, her point was that larger channels tend to be more inauthentic and don't give real numbers, but the smaller channels have been extremely authentic, especially the ones that she follows, and are really good about giving their numbers.
But even that's not accurate. I mean, all the ones that I've seen, there are a couple of smaller author tubers that they mentioned in the comment, in the response, in their answers in the chat, that have given their numbers, but a lot of the ones I've seen are from the bigger channels. So
really?
Yeah, and some of the bigger channels, they market theirs. They've got like a thing going, and so they put it behind marketing walls, and hey, they're making their bank. I don't blame them.
You are exactly correct.
Sarah Cannon just recently did a video about how she's made $1 million since she started self-publishing her books. And she's consistently giving details about how much she makes, and she does not put it behind a paywall. So, because she wants people to know and have the information and not have to pay for that information.
What are we calling a big author tube channel?
Monetized?
Someone was like 40-something thousand.
Yeah. Oh. For author tube, I'd say 40 plus.
40 plus. Okay.
For booktube, yeah.
My definition of big is smaller than that, but I would say anywhere from 5,000 up for me. For me personally, I would consider them a big channel. Because Courtney Project doesn't have 40,000 followers, but I consider her a big channel.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah. But doesn't she have more than one channel? Oh no, maybe that's Sarah Cannon.
That's Sarah Cannon has 2 channels. Yeah. One for her author channel, one for the Heart Breathings planner.
Yeah, I guess I would consider her big too.
So if everyone in the chat wants to find people that give that information, there's been plenty of links shared by the lovely Zara. One that I didn't even which one? I think Eva gave this one, the Writing Gals. I've never heard of that, so I'm gonna have to go back and grab that link also. I follow Jesse Elliott and Sarah Sutton and most of the others that you mentioned. Yeah, Mama Maggie said Shannon, and yes, several others.
Yeah, Shannon also goes through how much she spends for different marketing campaigns and what the return on investment is for each campaign.
Yeah. Which ones were working and which ones weren't worth it.
I do love Shannon's breakdown.
And Barrett shared that Moon Petrie has 3 agents with her full middle grade right now. So I just thought there was a little bit of yay news to share. People, I'm assuming that that's the link to the video. I'm guessing. But I think I went through all the comments. Do y'all know of any that y'all follow that share their breakdowns?
Not that the chat didn't mention.
Yeah. Okay. The same ones. Yep.
Hi, Madeline. And RC Scott, you're late. You're never late.
I love Zara so much at 910, but I'll be busting my ass for anyone else. Me. Willing to market literally anybody but myself. Love it.
Hold on. Wait. What time? Oh,
That one.
personal publishing numbers are abysmal because I never take the time to market my own books. But I'll be busting.
I love that. Love the honesty.
Same for me, Morgan. Just be embarrassing. Right? Yeah. I'd like to wait till I actually have some decent numbers to share because, I mean, nothing from nothing. It's nothing.
Oh my God, Savion, someone got hit?
What? No. Are they okay?
He had to be airlifted.
Oh no. Oh my God. Prayers. Wow.
That's scary.
Did you witness it? Is he saying he witnessed it or?
I don't know.
Wow. I'm so sorry. Okay,
Are we
so
going straight into another sprint? Or are we doing another
yes,
question?
I was getting ready to get there.
Sorry, I rushed you. My bad.
Well, I'm trying to see. I don't know if the third question. I was
Here's
feeling
the thing.
spicy.
If you
I was
if
feeling
you
spicy.
have, this is how I feel. If you want to
I had
ask a
just watched the
question,
video.
it's your channel.
Exactly.
And everyone's feelings are valid, even if we don't have the skills or the whatever it is needed to elevate the thing. Like if you're just a writer, and you're like, I don't know what we can do, but I know that this gives me some feels. Your feelings are valid.
Yes,
Don't feel
but
like you
so
can't
is everyone
say,
else's, and I'm not. I'm here for
Yeah.
everyone else.
If you want to talk about it, it is your stream, babe.
Yeah, you can ask whatever you want to ask, and
Oh
people who
no!
don't want to answer won't answer, and people who do want to discuss it will discuss it.
I don't think
Like
it's.
I'm down for any discussion. You know me, I just don't like I don't bash people, which I don't think here we've done. I'm a little bit
Yeah,
surprised that in others, but I've also curated my space, I guess, because I'm like I'm not seeing the things that other people are talking about, but I curate my space for positivity on purpose. So I also don't go very much on Twitter and Reddit, and I'm not in the Discord very much. So I don't see a lot of the negative things, so I don't know what people are talking about.
well, this is the third question. So, just there should be a question mark at the end, but it wouldn't let me add it. It said I had too many letters.
Yeah. Moving on.
Savion said a sheriff was answering a call and was going fast in pitch black with no lights on.
A sheriff hit him.
Sheriff. Oh my goodness.
Oh snap! No.
Oh, that's
Holy
so sad.
smokes.
Oh my gosh, that's. Oh, she already answered. Okay,
Turn those lights on.
come back. Hold on. Pull the timer all the way back to. No, that's not. I want it. That's not.
Get published by tradition means equal to better book. If a book is self-published, you automatically assume it's fully written.
So for me, I feel like in the perfect world with traditional publishing, it should be polished by the time it's published because it is going through so many hands. Because that's the route that it goes. And in a perfect world with indie publishing, you would pay yourself to go through the editors and stuff, and you would have the funds to be able to do it. And so in a perfect world, they would both be the exact same quality every time. But I feel like editors at traditional publishings can cut corners when people are super famous. People that are being indie published can't afford editors sometimes, so they skip that, and so it's never perfect either way.
Yeah,
I was about to say I've seen a traditionally published book where I'm like, oh, an editor
was that even edited at all? Yeah. And the other thing is, if you're broke and you're struggling and you're working a job and you're trying to write your book, and what you have is $1,000 to get your book published, you've got to allocate where that $1,000 is going to go, or not publish it, but and risk never making any money from it. You know, those are decisions that you have to make. So do you sparse out that $1,000? You need a cover, you need editing, you need formatting, you need all of these things. You've got some things that you're able to do on your own, but some things you can't do on your own. So if all you've got is $500 or $1,000 or $200, if that's all you got, do you never publish because someone's going to say it's not good enough and you just put out garbage or crap, the S word, as the girl said, whatever that negative connotation word that you have in your head of what's not good enough if you put it out? Or do you put it out there knowing that it's self-published, or in self, I guess it would be self-published in that case, and know that readers coming to it know that the lower expectation? Or do you say, no, it's more important that we elevate indie publishing, so I'm just going to stay in my struggle situation and not put my book out there? But you might put that book out there that's not perfect, and it might make you 10 grand. It might just be a good story, and people are like, hey, it's not edited really well, but this story is really great, and you could have made 10 grand from it. But because you only had X amount of dollars and couldn't afford all of the things, you know, those are decisions that I think individually people have to make, and I don't know that it's right for us to judge people who can't afford it.
Right. Barry. Or did you want to wait till we came back?
For what? What did I miss?
He
Oh,
hasn't seen the
I'm sorry.
question.
Oh, he hasn't seen the question.
Oh, it was up when he came back. I thought he saw it. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. Oh, um, oh, this is from the video too. I don't know. I mean, first of all, I don't know that time has anything different. I don't know that time is the difference. Definitely, I think the more time you have, obviously, the more time you have for more eyeballs to be on it. But that doesn't mean an indie couldn't do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
I
Yeah.
think it's like, you know, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little pay to play. Indie is, and I think friends of ours like Dolls of Steel Bruno have talked about that for a while and sounded that alarm. And so I've heard that the critique of AuthorTube, that also that, you know, some of us are a little tone deaf about how easy it is to self-publish and yada yada yada. Well, it's easy if we can afford
I was
all
about
the
to say
things.
it's definitely not easy.
Right. Well, it's easy if you can afford all the things, right? And so
Yeah.
I got that part of her video. I thought that was true and honest and good. But I think Jess Williams made a good point last night about like, but you're getting a whole ass degree that's going to cost like $30K that you probably could have put into that book cover and editor. But again, it's like, who am I to tell someone else, you know,
Yeah.
what to do with their life, whatever. So I think the whole point of the masters, and Sarah would probably say this from her perspective, and anybody else who has one. I have a couple of them. I think it's more about the experience, and it's more about the relationships you build through that process and process of finishing your thesis if you have to write one. I imagine for an MFA, it's some sort of creative endeavor at the end. But long story short, I think good for her. I think I understand the money thing. I get it. That was a fine point, but I don't think the time has anything to do. I got what she meant about rapid release. That felt more of like a little tiny zing at like, you know, well, we don't write as fast, which is a little bit of a trad pub snooty thing, I think, sometimes in some channels.
Well, then you have like Lizelle Sambury, who is doing like all these like young adult, like just so many pies, and they're going traditional, and she's just plowing through and writing. She wrote a book in 2 weeks. Like, gosh, so talented.
Same with let's see, Wings of Ebony. JL did the same thing. She's doing another great book, two YA books. Like, so I think it's doable, and I'm loving seeing Lizelle and JL and authors like that, you know, getting more stuff out there.
Yeah.
So I'm with the one thing I will agree, and don't come with me with pitchforks. with our girl family was I'm good to be an author that's like, oh yeah, I have a book every year and a half, 2 years. Like I'm good with that schedule. Especially if I have to work and like
Yeah.
keep my husband alive. So
Yeah.
you have to feed and water them. They
Thank
require
you, Regina. She's letting people know that
Oh,
she
yay.
can move the tears.
oh good.
I have always wondered why their schedule is like that, traditional publishing, because I'm like, why every year? Like, but I guess they have so many people to publish and put out.
But there's also the stress of, can you come up with a story idea and outline
Mm-hmm.
it if you outline, and write it and get beta reader feedback and edit it and get it back to your agent editor like within the year? Like there's pressure.
Yeah.
Like, what was her name? She was like a unicorn, just super happy. She's on Instagram now instead of YouTube. She wrote Keeper and Seeker.
Oh, Chance, Kim Chance.
Yes, Kim Chance.
Oh,
Her vlogs were all like, she took like 10 years to write her first book. And then she got the traditional deal for a 2-book deal. And then during that time period where she was supposed to write the second book, her vlogs, she was just in despair trying to get this to work and meet the deadline. And like sometimes, like, even though it takes years in traditional publishing, sometimes it's still too fast for
Yeah.
trying to come up with a book that you're super passionate about and have the time to put in everything, get all the eyes.
I suppose
Yeah.
I said, I guess everybody's not sitting over here with 6 finished manuscripts in a drawer waiting to be read.
People get one idea at a time.
Oh,
I have two. I forgot about one till I pulled out the one and saw the other one. I was like, oh look, there's two here.
I
That
didn't
was
even
fun.
know
That was a fun surprise.
All right. Well, hello. The timer has appeared. And if the gremlins don't get me, I can actually hit play. Do y'all want to do 30 or do you want less?
30 or
Your stream,
bust.
baby.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
up to you. It's your house.
you,
I took my
you
shoes off. It's your house.
I asked for an opinion, but okay. Fine. 3, 2, 1, go. Hello.
Hello.
We seem to have lost a Barrett.
I got spooked.
So, Tiffany's timer doesn't have a thing to end at the end, so you never
It's all
know
right.
when it's done.
It's all right. I
We
was
love.
unaccustomed to being spooked. It's a nice change of pace, I guess.
It is almost
Yes,
October.
you're usually the one doing the spooking.
I'm normally that person.
So I put up Margaret's question for you guys. Writers, what is your best trick to getting out of a slump when you don't feel well?
Motivation follows the task, is what I have always been taught. You are not motivated to do something until you start doing it. Your brain does not want to do it until you do it. So journal. That's my trick. Once you
That was
start
part of
journaling, it'll.
Eva's answer.
That was what?
Part of Eva's answer.
Yep.
Oh, Laura, Nia. Nia, you're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I do the same thing. If I'm not motivated, I find another outlet to if it's for writing. I find another outlet to get that creativity out. Um, so usually it's drawing or journaling or some other creative thing, and it usually gets me motivated to get that creative side ticking again.
Um, sometimes I. So if I'm burnt out on what I'm working on, I'll take a bit of a break. And then to ease back in, I'll start with flash fiction or travels. So something quick, just to dip my toe in there again and just it doesn't matter. It's really short, and um, usually that little win is enough of a little uptick to do something a little bit bigger. So an
Yeah.
edit that doesn't take too long, I'll tackle next. So things like that, or I'll take a break for a while and I'll read. Um, I'm
That's a good
currently
one.
taking a break. This is my second month off of writing. I've just been binge reading. So, yeah.
Nice. Congratulations, Zara.
Yay!
Wow. 791 words.
Ooh, so close.
Jennifer says she puts music on and writes something I wouldn't normally write, like a smutty romance scene or a
Ooh.
horror scene. Ooh, smut, smut, horror, horror. I reread my old fanfic. That always gets me going.
Oh, that's fun.
I do love that.
Rely on momentum, not motivation.
Power through.
Yeah.
My brain likes to hyper focus on things. So, usually I'll be hyper focused on writing for months at a time, where like that's all I do in my free time. Like,
I
I don't
like
really.
this. That's what does it for me. Watching something yeah, just refilling the well is what I
Yeah.
call gorging out on TV. But like to
This
watch.
weekend I was. Sorry, JC, I spoke over you.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say this weekend I was supposed to be editing and critiquing, and instead I watched all 3 seasons of Britannica. Britannia. I did. I did. All
nothing,
3 seasons.
nothing
30
wrong with that.
episodes.
How many
30
in the whole weekend you watched? Okay,
in 2 days.
you got me beat.
18 hours a day on this series. It was
Did
ridiculous.
you not move from one spot?
I didn't really. I got up to pee, and my husband brought me food.
That's awesome. You know
Mhm.
what? That sounds like a really great weekend.
Sometimes I have to bounce stuff off of my sister and just talk it out. And she'll come up with awesome twists and stuff. It's like, why don't you write it? It's like, ah. So, yeah, sometimes you just need new eyes and ears on it.
Mm-hmm.
Huh, I should try that this weekend. Let me just watch like 30 hours of.
It's nice. It was nice. It was a nice
I
weekend.
thought I watched. I, you know, that's interesting.
I
30
binge.
episodes.
I binge. I will go months without watching TV and just look at my bank account like, why am I paying for Netflix? And then I find something and it's done. It's over with. Nothing else exists until I finish that show.
Oh. Now, what's the? Where did you watch it at? Britannica? You said Britannica.
Britannia. It's on
Oh,
Prime.
okay. Huh.
Hmm. The first season was all right. I really liked the plot the first season. I really liked the characters the second season. Third season was just kind of eh. So
Eh, eh.
eh.
Okay.
They're definitely shooting for a different audience. Season
Mhm.
3.
Oh. Oh, have you ever hold on with me? Do you like sci-fi ish type
Love
of?
sci-fi.
Okay. Have you ever seen the show Orphan Black?
No, I haven't. Is it good?
Yes. Wait a minute.
I'll watch it.
Has Laura or Nia seen it?
I've only seen the first couple episodes. Did it pick up a little?
Oh my god, it's amazing. It's I don't know how many seasons it is. I forget how many seasons. But yes, it picked up a lot.
I know I watched a couple of episodes, maybe when it first came out, or when it was first on when it first showed up on whatever streaming it was on. I thought,
I
oh,
was
this is
obsessed with
interesting,
that
but
show.
I didn't go back to it though.
Just the first of all, the sheer acting that Tatiana, I don't know how to say her last name correctly. Maslany, I think is how you say her last name.
Yeah.
But the sheer acting to act all of those roles and make them individually separate. Like just that's a masterclass in acting. But yeah, see some people know who Orphan Black is. It's on the Sci-Fi channel. It's probably on whatever British, if you have a British streaming app or whatever, it would probably be on there too. Um,
Okay, Christina.
but it's great. I love that show. You should give it a try. Um, okay, so we're going to wrap it up here because we've been on for 3 hours, and I don't know when my StreamYard renews. So
I
I'm
love that.
just being real. um, she said if you like sci-fi, check out 12 Monkeys on Hulu. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so would you, my lovely co-host,
Go
like
play.
to do your outros?
I'm finishing up something and I will be right to my outro.
Okay, we'll
So y'all
start with Laura and work our way backwards.
Okay. My name is Laura Nettles. My channel is Laura Nettles. I do things spooky and scary and skeletons. I have a podcast called Twisted Tendrils Horrific Renting Advice. There is actually an episode on refilling the creative well on there. That might be helpful. With some inspiration from the book The Artist's Way in there. So, fun times. And yeah. I'm on the querying journey. That's me.
Yeah. And I'm Nia the Vixen of Fiction. I'm on YouTube, occasionally on Twitch, and I just started TikToking, so if you want to check that out. What else do? I host writing streams at 7 p.m. on Tuesday nights, Eastern, if you want to come hang out with us and get some things done. And this Saturday, we're doing Author Tubers React, where we're going to talk about all of the things that are happening in the writer and bookish realm of our community. And I'm a Loki mom and a mama for, and he is wanting all of the attention right now. Yes. So this is Loki. Loki, can we say hi?
He's so sweet. Hi, Loki.
And that is me. Come hang out with us.
Hi, friends. I'm Gwynna at Gwynna the Winner. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Twitch. You can even find me on Instagram. You probably can't find me anywhere else, though, because I don't like social media. Um, I have a Kindle Vella that JC likes to call me out for negative marketing. I have a KoFi that you can give money to me for because I am probably going to be a hybrid author and I need money to do that. So if you could please go ahead and do that. Oh, hi Tiff. Tell us what you finished cooking. I'm so glad you got to eat something, babe. Go ahead and give a like and subscribe not only to myself but to everybody here because we're all lovely people and we love you a lot. Oh, I'm streaming on Friday. That's nice.
Every night there. Okay, I'm sorry. Um, and I'm author JC Carpenter. I do stuff on my channel. Vlogs, masterclass videos. I'm also a self-published author of 2 books, The Diary Succession of Lies and The Art of Love Poetry Collection. I have a blog, online magazine, and an online store, and a Ko-fi page. And I post videos on Mondays and Thursdays. I stream here every Wednesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. I would also like to say happy anniversary.
Congrats.
Nice. Wedding anniversary. Nice.
Very
Congrats.
nice. And with that, oh, and love to Tiffany.
Yeah.
And with that, I will hit the button and say good night, everyone. Bye.